Boss. Can you hear me?
Yeah. How are we looking? Ollie. Hey. Maybe I can hear you. Yes, big up everybody. Big up, big up. Hope you can hear me. Knows the sounds going on. Stop the music, DJ. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a big one tonight. It's gonna be a vibe tonight. Waiting for the guys. Talking about Tottenham's season so far. Big up to Wolfgang Division, my bro. Big up to you, AFC always. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a fire. Like, got a couple of the man there. Yes, big up everybody. It's with your boy Deji Spurs in the building. Thank you very much for waiting. Sorry for the delay in starting the stream tonight. We had some technical difficulties, but we're in. We are moving. Big up Wolfgang, big up Jay Greens, big up JJ, big up AFC always, big up everyone in the comments. Tonight, we are going to shut this thing down. Spurs, 12 games in the season so far. It's very easy to kind of get hung up on the last 2 games with Tottenham. We've got fans bantering, sending me messages. Ha ha, I told you so. I think I had Josh on there sending me messages, wanting me to say, is Spurs still going to win the league? But tonight, it's not really about that. Tonight is about the perspective. Taking a step back, looking at the season so far, the positives and the negatives, and then looking forward to the Christmas period run, and then obviously moving into the January transfer window. So I'm going to be doing that now. I'm going to be joined by my home guy, Zeus, in the building from the 6th. And I'm going to be also joined by Marlon Bashman shortly. But big up, please, everyone. Smash a like, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. You know, look, Wolfgang, you know what? Respect to you, my bro, because straight in, you, man, have been good. Must be said. Enough respect to you, my brother. Yo, Zeus, my bro, welcome. We're going to keep this short and sweet tonight. All the way from the 6th. Zeus, how you being, my bro? How you doing?
Good, man. 6th guy back in the building, know what it is. Yeah, man. International break messing up the flex, but yeah, quite calm. And looking forward to more football next weekend, innit?
Hold it down. Do you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. Generally speaking, I hate the international break. I hate it. But I think with Tottenham and the injuries that we've had so far, every day that they don't kick ball is a day that they can work on healing their bones, healing the injuries, healing the hamstrings and all of that, and so that they can quickly get back into the squad. I'm really hoping for some good news, hopefully this week, especially in relation to Van der Ven and Madison. So Zeus, what I want to do tonight really, people have been sending messages. I know you've been getting terrorized yourself. People sending messages, quite abusive messages, talking about how Tottenham, the wheels are falling off. Ha ha ha! I told you so. Rare, 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 rare. And then you're fighting back, and it's almost like you're firefighting. But I really just want to take a step back. You know, Wolfgang is it's been real. He's just straight into you man have been good. Must be said. He's also said, look, everyone loves Ange. The fact is, Ange has won 3 Premier League managers in a row. I think it's fair to say he won't be winning it for the month of November. That's the performances that we've had. But I just want to chat to you on a level. What were you, just remind us, what were your expectations before the season started? And
I always
the first 12 games been, let's just take it with.
I always said time and time again, the ask was just to get the football right. There was no, I didn't even want no title talk, no Europe, none of that stuff. It was just play good football, right? And show that something there, right? Remember when Nuno was around and he was winning, and it was like, man, this is dross. Like, this is not sustainable, right? So that's what I wanted. Like, we get a new manager and he has a good pattern to play, a good way of playing, and it's consistent and it's something that we can build on. Of course, he went and exceeded those like considerably, like crazy. And that's when everyone started talking title and all that. But I didn't want to move from that. My thing was just good football, not even Europa, none of that stuff. Just good football. That was my number one.
Yeah, no, real sport. And everyone in the comments, please also be real, banter aside. Can you let us know what your expectations were for Spurs? I know there's a lot of people in here that aren't Spurs fans, but I just want to see if the temperature is kind of the same. As for me, I had no expectations. I think I said if Tottenham match what we did last season but played better football, I would be happy. And technically I would. If Ange Postecoglou had finished 8th, but playing the football that we're playing now, I would have bitten your hand off, because for me, the dusty football was just too dusty. Watching my club go to the likes of the Emirates and just go there like little kids and who literally sat on the lap and was getting spanked in the stadium, I weren't on it. No, I was not on it. But I was also recognizing the fact that Aston Villa under Unai are a different kettle of fish. Newcastle's a different kettle of fish. I was actually expecting Manchester United to kick on under Eric Ten Hag.
Yeah.
I'm expecting still Chelsea to kick on under Pochettino, Man City to do what Man City does, Liverpool to be back this season, and Arsenal to do what they does. It would mean that the very best that we could finish would be 8th anyway if all of those things had panned out. And I have to say, Postecoglou, I think he surprised himself. Would you say he surprised himself, dude? Because for me, he's probably overachieved so far. I was expecting at this stage maybe to have at least taken at least 4 L's. The fact that we've got 2 L's and we've managed to have 8 wins is pretty impressive. But has Postecoglou overachieved, or did you always know from the info you had of him? Because I know you're good at the stats and you were kind of reading deeper into this and you knew about his gameplay. Has Postecoglou overachieved for Spurs?
All right, before I answer that, pronounce this word: C-L-U-B.
C-L-U-B. Club.
I don't know, for some reason the way you pronounce that, it sounds Irish. I don't. It's like you just it goes from a.
No, I say it from it's club, but yeah, I say it as club.
Okay, you say the particular. Okay, I thought it was just me being like out here in Toronto.
It's just me, yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. But 100% though, yeah, I would say he's like overachieved. Like, yeah, he's gone past his wildest expectations for sure. Usually, in his past, right, when he gets to a new club, they struggle for a bit, maybe like half of the season, that kind of thing, and then they get it right, and then they kick on and they just do bits and kill it. But he's come in. unbeaten for so long, and like playing keeping true to his style of football, and winning manager of the month 3 times in a row. And I think to him, he's like, wow, this Premier League that everyone makes such a big deal out of, it's not that it's just not that great. Like, yeah, it's like, oh shit, this is it. Like, so I think this is literally the bare. He can only get better, right? Like, and I think he's going to get a sense of the players that he wants to fit his style, and now that he's got more money and all that kind of thing. So I think this is a really legitimate good manager. It's not a fluke. It's no like AVB type situation where maybe he kills it and in with one club and then comes somewhere else and he's trash. This is a guy that's like legit, maybe one of the best in the world kind of thing. And the only thing that's limited him has been money and income. So yeah, definitely overachieved. And it's just like, man, another thing too, the way he speaks, he's always said things like there's going to be some ups, there's going to be some downs. We could lose every game from now to December based on the injuries, right? But I'll still be very happy with him because his way of playing, style of play it's solid. It's solid. His philosophy is solid, and he's a good manager, and that plays good football, right? So yeah.
Big up, big up. Big up. Red Bull Vodka. We're gonna touch on that later in the show about the injuries shortly. So, but I'm just acknowledging you, but we will bring that up. So the question is then, Postecoglou's obviously had a flying start. He's had the best start of any Tottenham manager. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I was not shaking my bum for him. I wasn't. I was looking at the A League. I was looking at the J League. I was looking at the P League, the O League, and I was not impressed. I have to say I've been impressed, and it doesn't feel like it's a fluke. He feels kind of genuine. The other manager that I feel is kind of genuine is Gary O'Neill. I think the work that he's doing at Wolves is pretty impressive. The way he's got them kicking ball is should other managers, because at the moment we saw Levy do it in the fans forum. He's like, I could have gone for a big name, but I didn't. And Postecoglou is like, rah, I am a big name kind of thing. People are still not respecting him. I'm not hearing Arsenal fans are talking about how Arteta has done bits, and we know Jurgen Klopp. We know he's a top draw manager. We know Pep. Should other fans and should the Tottenham faithful, should we be putting more respect on Postecoglou's name? Because really and truly, he's managed to turn the way that we play, the mentality, the way that he carries himself. This brother is sure of himself. And I don't know, but I guess the question I want to ask, and I know it might be too early, but let's just do it. I like boldness. Is he the best manager that we've had in recent time? And I'm talking from Harry Redknapp. Could Postecoglou be the best manager? Does he trump Pochettino? Does he trump? The song says you can keep your Pochettino. We got Postecoglou instead. That kind of thing. Is he Tottenham's best manager that we've got so far, that we've had? Harry Redknapp, all of them man there in there.
Okay, Redknapp. I think Redknapp wasn't necessarily. I don't think he was in terms of tactics and that sort of thing. He was on it. Like he just said, play, just play, express yourselves. He wasn't tactically astute. So I think Postecoglou has more tactical astuteness, awareness around him, with inverted fullbacks and all of that stuff. Pochettino was good. He's good. High line, the high press and all that stuff. And the football was fantastic. I'll never forget, there was a year we won. We had the most attacking. We scored the most goals, conceded the least. People don't acknowledge that year at all. Like that's phenomenal. You never see that. Yeah. So
people who do that usually win the league.
Exactly. Yeah. That was I think that was the year that Chelsea won it, and hopefully they get points deducted. Maybe we get awarded that particular year of the Premiership. Yeah. But I think the ceiling is high. This is what, 3 months, something like that, and we play very, very well. Like our first 11, which is not on him, fantastic all through, right? Like there's maybe a few weaknesses, but just generally the football is fantastic, right? And such a short time. It wasn't like he was there, and I don't think he had that much of a say in terms of who's going to be there. Maybe not as much as if he's been there for much longer, but generally it was just like a short time. This is what I have, and that's something he always says. Like even Harry Kane being there, and Harry Kane had to leave. He's like, I'll deal with what I have. Like I will work with what I have. He's not saying, oh, I need the best players in the world. Out of that, his positivity is like is very. It's just refreshing, right? Because he's like, all right, what it seems like you want a manager who's like, all right, this is what I have. How can I? What is the best I can get out of all these guys? You don't want someone that says I need a certain player for me to perform. Like Conte demanded that we get Perisic, right, to fit his football, and he leaves now, and I mean, but you see too, like Ange was even using him in his system. You know what I'm saying? Like you want someone that's like using what he has to make everything better. So I think that's very, from what I'm seeing, it's early days, but like that's what I want. That you can't go wrong with that. Someone that's able to see a player and then make him working with what he's got. And that's what you always want, as opposed to even Pep and all these guys. They're just buying like the most expensive, and then they're good, but let's see Pep take
let's see Pep do what Pochettino did
with like the Spurs team. Pep is not winning the league with a Spurs team, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, look, bro, we're looking at the kind of 12 games in. We've had 8 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses. I mean, if somebody had told me at the beginning of the season that we would have 26 points in our first 12 games, mate, I'll be telling you, hallelujah. Great. Keep it coming. And also, it would be like a wild dream. But here we are on the 19th of November. And that's, what Tottenham has managed to do so far this season. And I think you're right. We have to big up Postecoglou because of the way that he's got the team playing, the way that he set us up. We genuinely look like a threat. Our first 11, and I was on a show earlier today, and I think it was Mons from the Big Six Banks was actually saying Tottenham's first 11 can play anybody.
Yeah,
I don't give a damn if you're City, Liverpool, Arsenal. Our first 11, if they're on the pitch, fit and healthy, we can take anybody in the Prem. And to be honest with you, I haven't felt that since Poch, really. And even then, it was still kind of shaky. We knew we were going to go after City, but we were always scared. I'm less scared.
No. That was a good team, bro. That was that
team
team.
Was scared, but you were worried though. The City game, you were still worried though. Deep down.
Bro, no, wait.
Let's confident we were going to do it.
Wait, let's take it back. That was at its height. I think it's like you got Daniel Rose, in the back. You've got Alderweireld with Tongan, and you've got Kyle Walker. Then you've got Musa Streets, the God player Dembele, not the other, the Belgian one.
Yeah.
Eriksen's in there. Who else is in the mid at that time? Yeah, I think Wanyama,
when you had Wanyama who could come on.
Yeah, so maybe, and you had Dele Alli too.
On the left, Kane.
Yeah, Kane, Son.
It was Eriksen, isn't it? Because Eriksen didn't play central. He played on the.
Yeah, they put him in there somewhere. They fixed him in, but that was a proper team, like talent wise. We used to do, like we should have won. That was a very talented team. I think that team is actually better than this team. Like this 11, I think maybe Porro. Yeah, I would say I think maybe Porro is not maybe a weak link.
Yeah, Porro is not Carl. He's not up to Carl Walker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Porro.
Eriksen on his time was maybe does he edge Madison? Maybe they're probably on par. But what we had Son on the left. You had Kane up top, which was pretty bloody effective. We had Dele Alli as well, who was doing bits as a number 10. Well, let me tell you something, because for me, I'm someone that I like to kind of look around and look at the kind of the atmosphere, the feeling around Tottenham Hotspur, the feeling around our club. Our manager's taken 3 managers of the month. We've had 2 out of the 3 players of the month has come to Spurs. But I was on Never a Foul earlier today, and we did a current team of the season. Now, in the end, I managed to definitely squeeze two players in. I squeezed Udogi and I squeezed Madison. It wasn't even a squeeze. It was pretty unanimous that Udogi is probably the best left back in the league at the moment. Madison is obviously the best number 10 in the league.
Yeah.
But pretty much every position, they named the Spurs player. It was mad. So there was a debate between Allison and Vicario, and I was saying it's got to be Vicario on this season, not Allison that we know, but just take it. But the fact that there was a debate, Ramsdale, Raya didn't come into the equation, so you've got Vicario or Allison. Then we talked about Udogi on the left. I think we gave the right to Carl Walker. In the middle, for centre-back pairing, they said the top three centre-backs in the league this season has been Van Dijk, Saliba, and Van de Ven.
Yeah, Van de Ven is in there.
And he was in that equation. And then in the midfield, we ended up with Madison, Declan Rice, and Gallagher. But people were talking about really and truly that could easily be Basuma.
Yeah.
And in the striker position, because Haaland, although he's got 13, he's not really been on it. That could easily be Son. And so you're looking at in the team of the season so far, you could have 5 Tottenham players.
Five might be a stretch. What I've been seeing around has been.
What would you say then? Team of the season so far, how many Spurs players get in? People in the chat, how many Spurs players get into your team of the season so far? Don't be bantering us. Yeah. Be real. How many Spurs players get into your team of the season so far? Go on, Zeus. Sorry.
I've been seeing like 4 consistently. Van de Ven for sure. Madison. Who else is in there? I think maybe Udogi is in there, and who's maybe Son as an attacker. I think that's what it's looked like from all these like big, media publications. And I tend to agree with that. But definitely though the team. People give Romero a lot of stick. Like I think if he didn't get that red card, like he's also worth he's also worth it. Like in being in the conversation. Like we were solid all through and through. Like we were pretty solid. Like maybe the attack needs some like I don't know who plays on the left side. Like we that's a question mark for us. I mean, if Perisic wasn't injured, right, you'll be getting his deliveries that people getting on.
I don't think they're good enough though. Perisic or Solomon. I'm not happy with them for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. I still think even if they were fit, I'm not. They're not what we need.
Brendan, I mean, Johnson is early days. Maybe he can make that his own, but that's still up for grabs. Kulusevski, I don't know. Like I don't know what I think. Ange likes him. I think he's killing. The ball. Advancing, carrying stats, he's always leading, but he's really lost the goal scoring.
Yeah.
Like it's gone kind of thing.
Even the assists, to be fair.
Yeah.
So you're saying about 4 Tottenham players would definitely get into the team, and can you just remind me who are they?
Son. Remember, Son has 8 goals, 0 penalties. Yeah. Son, Van de Ven, Udogi, Basuma. I put it in there for sure.
Do you not put Vicario in there?
I know Vicario has been great, but we've also faced a lot of shots. You know what I'm saying? Like I get what you're saying. Should I? I don't know. I don't generally like. We faced a lot of shots. He made some great saves, but at the same time, I don't think we should be. Maybe I'm being a bit too harsh.
I think Vicario has been the best keeper of the season so far.
I saw something recently that said he's like the number 1 for is it goal preventer or something? It was one of these like statistical things, but yeah, he's been very good, and the how quick he's taken to the league too. That's another thing. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that's Anderson, but all these new guys who are just coming to the Premier League and just like, making mincemeat out of it. That's been another thing too. So Udogi, Van de Ven, Vicario, the adjustment has been pretty phenomenal.
It's been pretty phenomenal, but also I just feel like, I mean, I'm just picking up in December. December's ahead today. It's Deji. He's got to take a dig. Just ignore it until the end of the season. Here today, not happy with me and my comments about Arsenal. I mean, look, what I'm saying is, on a level, potentially here, and I'm hearing this from my brother Zeus, is that Tottenham could have 5 players in the player of the season so far. Now, on that rate, if Tottenham second half of the season is similar to how we've done the first half, then
Top league.
Tottenham are guaranteed top 4, guaranteed.
Yeah.
If not, and then we'll probably be in and around the top 3 with that kind of thing. But what I'm trying to say is, when was the last time we could boldly say we've got 3 to 5 players in the Premier League 11?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that was the Pochettino era. Like all those guys, the Belgians, Alderweireld, Walker, Vertonghen, Dembele, Musa Dembele, Ali, Ericsson, Son, Kane. That was a crazy team. Like a lot of those guys end up in the team of the season, whatever one you call it. Like those guys are confirmed players for sure. Yeah.
So thank you. Yeah,
I don't know. There's a comment here from Delusional Westbrook fan. I don't know if you at 5:32.
Yeah, drop the Delusional. What has he said?
Okay, I don't know. Delusional. He says just talking about Romero. Yeah, the red card absolutely washed away a lot of the praise the fans were giving. He's talking about Romero. The rash reputation got its legs back. He had like 1 yellow card up to that season, to that point. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but that's a very good point though. Like a lot of people say, "Oh, he's bad. He's detrimental to Spurs." But it's like 1 red card this season.
It is. Yeah. The only thing I will say though is I had Romero up there as probably being on par, if not better than Saliba, and I just feel like the rashness that he did in the Chelsea game. I'm not one of the Tottenham fans to jump on the bandwagon and to lambast our players, but it was poor. And I just feel like when you're playing at this level, I haven't seen Saliba rash. I'm not saying this is not a comparison between Saliba and Romero, but he's the reason why we lost to Chelsea. And I would go as far as to say if Romero was not rash and got himself sent off, maybe Van de Ven stays on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that injury to Van de Ven doesn't happen. And I just feel like the knock-on impact of his actions,
snowball,
just really took it did take the shine off him. And for me, it's not just about playing football, it's about your mentality. Have you got an elite mentality? Can you stay calm in the moment? And he let himself down, he let us down.
Yes. Okay. I guess you could say.
But for me, that qualified Saliba as a better centre back because he.
Did you say that? Did you say that on their pod?
Huh?
Did you say that on the pod that you're on?
Yeah, pretty much, bro. Pretty much. I'm not gonna.
No, I'm just saying it's true. Like that's a very good assessment. That elite mentality. You can't. In a big moment like that, like a game that means a lot, you can't lose your head. So. And that's why you put Saliba ahead of him. So that's a very good observation, And I think it would be because it'll be good to hear that from, that's not banners, like facts. Like it would be good to hear that from like other fans hear you say that, which I think I think you should actually let them know that that's a fair.
Yeah. I mean that kind of incident kind of qualified it. But quickly, because Zeus, I know you have to go. I just want to touch on 2 things quickly with you. We're in a different position. All the stuff we've talked about was when things were all right. Yeah. Things are not all right at the moment. I want to know, in the last game, we saw Eric Dyer and Ben Davies come in. Is Postecoglou, can we survive with this system? Or, as some people have said, I think it was here today, does Postecoglou need to adapt to the players that he has? Because I'm pretty worried. We've got a height. For me, we have to hold on tight up until the January transfer window when we can bring in the 3 players that I think we need to bring in. But what needs to happen now, and what's your expectations for the season? So what do we need to do now? Expectations for the season, and then we'll wrap up.
I mean, so it's going to be rocky next before the January comes around for sure. Like I said, we could lose all 8 games. Like It could happen, and that just has to do with the fact that we're missing so many key players that make the system work. But that said, he did make an adjustment to the last game. The line wasn't as advanced as when Van de Ven and Udogie are around. Udogie comes back, so a huge part of our attack is actually going to be fixed because I think Emerson Royal playing out of position over there is not gonna get it done, kind of thing. But like I said, let's say worst case scenario, we lose all 8 games prior to the new year. New year comes in. Now Levy has to spend some money.
That's 10 games. That means we would have.
I think it was 8. I think it was 8.
Yeah. So if so, you're saying 8, including the 2 defeats we have now. So
we lost 10. Yeah, we lost 10.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like I said, right? The goal is just top. Good football. So we lose that. Now, as just your normal sense of business, I'm sure Postecoglou has identified players that he wants. Replacement, a backup center back, and an attacking player, like a creative attacking player, like a backup for Madison kind of thing.
Yeah.
If they can, maybe a sure person to play that can play in the front 3, like a more guaranteed, like a replacement for Richarlison, essentially, something like that. That would, yeah. So if they can do that, then we get back to winning ways, finish top half of the top 8, European place, something like that. That would be the way I would expect things to go.
And so with the start of the season, that wouldn't be considered a disappointment. No Spurs fans,
not at all, because it's like
we're disappointed with we had a great start and then we've done that. Is that not another Spurs team that you're describing?
No, it's not a Spurs thing. You got a new manager coming in, new season, and it's like we've got some good players, we're playing good football, but a bunch of the key talent. We like to the Premier League side. I think you have 22 players on your roster or something like that.
Yeah,
and then but maybe in the season, like a team like City, they maybe 18 players would play in different positions across the season. We had 11. We literally had 11. Maybe some other guys that can come. I don't know. Lo Celso, I don't rate. Højbjerg, I guess he's a serviceable in this system. So maybe 12. But that's it, right? Any major injury, and you're like, what the fuck do I do now, kind of thing. And that's where we're at now. There's nothing you can do apart from waiting for the January transfer window and then bringing some players in. So for me, that's not it's just we it usually takes 3. A lot of new managers come in. It takes years to change, to start playing the way that they want. And we're trying to change and win the league in one transfer window. That's impossible. You need multiple.
100%.
4, 5, we 2, and it's okay, we might have a strong team. That's the way I see it.
No, fair. So I'm thinking. So I was looking, and I want to talk about this tomorrow on the blueprint. Hopefully, Zeus, you can join. So we need 3 players. I'm saying Tap Soba. I think the player we're looking for is Griezmann. Griezmann for me is a perfect backup to Madison, but also he could be a striker, maybe play that Richarlison role. But I feel like we need to be bringing in players of that ilk. I think I agree with you. I think having started the way that we've started, if we don't finish in a Europa League spot, I would be disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think you can have such a good start and then completely fall out of a European position.
I'm not changing. I'm not changing from my original stance.
The Europa Conference League don't cut it for me. And I
No. So your Europa Conference League with Postecoglou, good chance of winning it. And I think there's this whole thing about winning breeds winning mentality. So
hell no, not that Dusty Cup.
No, but that wipes away. No, that wipes away a lot of the issues with Spurs. We win a European trophy, and we win a trophy. Those 2 things. Arsenal can't even say they've done that, right? So
yeah,
it's not Europe. You win the European Conference League, and then next season, then you're talking about champions, not champions, but you're talking about the league, and then you're talking about the league or the Europa League, right? You're just going up gradually.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%. So you're saying, um, you're sticking with your stance. That would be a good season. You just wanted to see good football. Well, then we've already achieved it. Then, so we've achieved
We
what
ha-
you
we
were
have
hoping.
we have yeah, we have good football. I wanted to know that we have a good manager, right? Someone that
Yeah, yeah.
can. It's like I can trust this guy. To his style of football works. Like look at Ten Hag. Like now his style of football doesn't work. Like it doesn't seem like
Uh,
it's working, right? So I they don't trust him anymore. And there's get him out, that kind of thing. But I don't know. There's a couple comments here I think we should address.
Yeah, let's address them. Which ones do you want us to address?
It was the assembled was talking about question about the FFP
Yeah,
charges that
yeah. Okay.
if they had any investigation under if Spurs had any investigation, we would be in trouble.
No, we wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the answer is no. A lot of people hate on Levy, skin flint, da da da, all that kind of stuff. But Spurs, very very well run club. I think everyone can agree to that.
In fact, I wish they would check our finances. I wish you would. You know, there
Yeah,
was, yeah, I wish you would. But you
yeah,
know what? What I was hearing though earlier today is that we've seen what happened with Everton. And look, if you break the rules, you break the rules and you should be
yeah.
punished. And they've been slapped with 10 points, which is unfortunate for them. And I personally think I had Everton to go down. I know they've been playing well, but with this 10-point deduction, they are going down.
Yeah, yeah.
What I will say though is that Chelsea and Man City they need to be slapped hard for their dirtiness, because we know that Chelsea and Man City would not be where they are today if not for breaking the rules and spending big boy money. But you know what I heard? We would have a Carling Cup. I think we'd have two cups, two Carabao Cups, and a Premier League. And the question is, Zeus, would you take those trophies under those grounds, or would you just allow those seasons to just be void? What would you prefer?
No, no, I don't think you can go back and retroactively start taking because
Really?
yeah, that
I'm shameless. I'll take them trophies real quick. Squash all this debate about how many trophies we won. I add those three to the
no,
cabinet
because
right now.
no, because all the extra stuff that the guys in the front office are doing, that's usually separate from the players that are on the pitch. If you're cheating, and I don't know, it's not like baseball, for instance, where people are like taking steroids and stuff like that. This is just literally on pitch performance. So whatever they illegally acquired all these players, all this talent, but those guys that were on the pitch, that's who went up. Everyone else went up against, and everyone else couldn't
Yeah,
measure up.
but they cheated because it's like Tottenham now getting a Saudi billionaire and buying our way to success. As much as I would be enjoying it and I'll be shaking my bum violently out on the streets of Tottenham, if I know that it's been done in an illegal fashion, then should you be benefiting from your fraudulent activities?
I don't.
I'm not saying that Man City. I mean, it's alleged. It's not. They're not guilty yet, but
They're
should they
guilty.
be found guilty, those trophies should come to Tottenham Hotspur.
No, I think you, as a player, I wouldn't want that. I think you want to be the best. You want to be the best in on the field of play when playing, right? It's not about some technicality. Like let's say you go play a rec league or something like that, and somebody is illegally registered.
Yeah,
You know how them ones like I'm not, and we lose. Maybe for the final, but if he's been there the whole season, it's like whatever. Like that was the team that came out. But if it's the final, yeah, they went and got someone for that one game. Then yeah, that's dodgy. But if he's been there from the jump, it's like okay, whatever. He's been part of the team. That's the team that's been there. So yeah, I'm not about going back and retroactively and all that stuff.
yeah,
As a player, I think the guys on the top will have something different to say as a player.
yeah. No, fairs, fairs. And also, just finally, before we go, I do feel for Everton and I feel for the Everton fan base because I'm one of the Spurs fans. Zeus, we've been one of the Spurs fans. We've been crying out for Levy to spend money, 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 so that we can compete with the big six, the Chelseas, the Man Cities, the Arsenals of this world. And Everton wanted to do the right thing. Everton was sick and tired of being minnows in terms of really underachieving by their standards and by who they are. So they've gone out on a limb. They've decided let's spend some money and get themselves up the table. It hasn't really quite transpired like that. I mean, they brought in Javes Rodriguez. They had Ancelotti once upon a time as well. They want to do the whole stadium build. Could the club be blamed for breaking the rules? I know it's a simple question, and I don't want the kind of the easy answer here. Can you see how they got themselves into this mess, basically?
I mean, so was the issue that they lost a lot of money in one season? Is that kind of where the?
I think so. I mean, someone in the chat will say, but I think they overspent, basically. I know.
Right,
I
yeah,
think
they
they
overspent. I mean,
overspent.
do you remember? I think it was Leeds when they were a good team back in the day. Is that kind of what happened? That they kind of bet against themselves to win. I think they were in the Champions League or something crazy, and it didn't work out, and then it just kind of cascaded into them being relegated. I don't. I find it. This is not. I don't know, man. The Premier League rules are crazy weird. So they're being at fault for trying to be big. Is that what it is?
Well, they overspent. We have rules. We have financial fair play rules for a reason, which means that to keep the league competitive, clubs are required to spend within a certain limit in terms of their income and blah 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 and sales of players and all of that. And
Okay.
where it's easy to kind of break those rules, and for Man City, 115,
Yeah.
which they're investigating at the moment, is that you're spending more than you're bringing in. I
Okay.
guess
Yeah.
for me, in layman's terms,
Okay.
I,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
If that's what
you're,
it is, then that everyone is supposed to spend a certain amount of what they bring in as a club, and they went behind that, then yeah, that's wrong. I thought it was something else, but no, that's wrong.
it's
Actually I think it explains why Man City are kind of always. Well, the allegation is that they're always inflating their revenue.
yeah.
To be able to, I guess, look good in terms of financial fair play. So yeah, that's wrong. I thought it was just maybe the owner decided to put in way more money than
No, no,
they
no.
need
I
to.
mean, they wouldn't be so uh maybe so lapse. But I mean, the one positive thing is that Everton have admitted that they did do it. I mean, it's glaring to see. They've admitted it. What disappoints me though, there does seem to be kind of favoritism, and I don't know if everyone in the chat kind of agrees. Everton have come in and been slapped already. They've got a 10-point deduction. Why are we still waiting for Man City and Chelsea? Why haven't these two teams been slapped already? That's what I want to know. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, is it that the money is just the talking here? Because
Yeah,
what's going on? For me, surely before you're slapping Everton, those cases have to be done. And if I was an Everton fan, if we were in that same boat, I'd be saying, what about them?
yeah.
Win, lose, or draw. What
I think
about them?
it's
Let's just get the verdict at least.
yeah, but I think It's like tactics, money, financial. A lot of it's financial. It's like okay, we have more money. We can afford to have this thing drag out in court much longer than it. I'm sure they're paying their lawyers like crazy cash. So I think that's literally what it is. They just say, okay, we have better lawyers, better resources. We're going to fight, but not really, but just kind of drag and delay and delay and delay for as long as we can. And
Yeah.
yeah, I literally think that's what it is. Like it's
Yeah.
messed up, but hopefully they're going to get their just rewards, right? It would be a shame if like they somehow come out not guilty. That would be
That would be a shame. But also, if Everton get relegated, I mean, I know delusional has said that if Everton win their next game, they're at the bottom three. That just shows how dusty that bottom three is. But they could, even with the deduction, one win and they could be back out again. If that is true, that's got to be the funniest thing that I've read. But here today says Everton risked it and it didn't pay off with improvements, prize money on the league table. Wolfgang has said that City have the money to tie it up. Chelsea guilty party is gone. Government forced a sale. Okay, good point there. Assemble. Do you think there's going to be a level playing field? Every team has to spend the same amount of money. One thing I like about that question, and I know we got to go, is that the assembled knows how I think. Because for me, I think if football is to be genuinely fair, we need to have the same money. I don't like the fact that people say Pep is a better manager than Gary O'Neill or a better manager than Pochettino when he has access to the best teams in the world. I mean, I think if you put Gary O'Neill in Barcelona or Real Madrid, he probably wins the league. And also I was saying about the kind of ranking for like the World Cup, the coefficients, the European thing. Why do we have rankings? I would just rather we just go for let's just do it on luck. If you're really the best team in the world, if Germany, England, France, and Italy are in the same group, then so be it. And I don't give a damn if Gibraltar, Macedonia, San Marino, and some next team are in the same group as well. Because but when you start to kind of rank it, it's just favoring the elites, and I'm fed up of that. And in an ideal world, I would love it to be fair, but I think with the amount of money that's involved in the game, it will never be fair. And if you think that Real Madrid is government backed, the city of Madrid backed the club, then that's where things become a disaster and we see the kind of tears. So Here to There says lastly, and then we got to go because I think you know how to answer this, Zeus. Yeah. So would you support a US style salary cap?
I don't know, man. I've seen people circumvent those things all the time, so I'm not entirely sure how that works, number one. But I know people kind of circumvent that with like what's this funny thing they have in the NBA?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not too super familiar with how it works, but I know that some clubs find funny ways to like do like, super big threes and all that kind of stuff for different teams. So I think it will be more equitable for sure. But then again, I still think you can find a way to kind of get behind us, that kind of thing.
Well, the way I've seen it is that you've got players playing for like LA Galaxy on $85,000 a year, and then you can bring in like a Ibrahimovic or a Gareth Bale on $500,000 a week. So the domestic players are suffering, but the international players are getting even more money in the dustier league. No disrespect. So I don't know if that works, but I think it's something to look at. But look, everyone, thank you for tuning in. My bro was supposed to be here 30 minutes. I held him down for 50. So Zeus, I owe you. Please, everyone, thank you. Like and subscribe. Tomorrow, myself, hopefully Zeus, and a few others, we're going to be looking at the blueprint, going in a bit more detail, what Tottenham need to do to not have the prediction that Zeus has said, which is basically that we're going to lose our next 6 games. That would be a disaster. That's all the good work ripped out in a space of a month. But thank you very much, everyone. Hope you had a good weekend. Like and subscribe, and wish you good night. Thank you very much.
Save